couple of weeks ago when Eric Young cost Bobby Roode the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. It was something that no one saw coming, considering that these two have been best friends for nearly 12 years. It went one step further just last week in a no disqualifications match when Eric Young utilized a steel chair and secured a victory over Bobby Roode. And you just heard what Roode had to say moments ago. He wants Eric Young. Bobby Roode desperately wants to get his hands on Eric Young and dish out some violent offense. Will that happen? How will Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode work as a tag team against BDC member Loki and Eric Young, who has fully aligned himself with the Beatdown Clan? The night began tonight with the match for Feast or Fire. 12 wrestlers competed, 4 left with briefcases. It's not often that you wish congratulations and condolences after a match, but that seems to be the case with Feast or Fire. Austin Aries, Robbie E., Rockstar Spud Magnus all secured briefcases. However, only 3 will get a future championship match. One of these men, sadly, their career will end tonight. They will go home for good. No longer a part of Impact Wrestling, no longer employed by TNA. What's going to happen when we reveal what's inside those 4 briefcases? We find out all together later tonight on Friday Night Impact. I'm going to head back inside the announcer's room and call this tag team match, this very personal tag team match alongside Taz, as Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle team up to take on Low-Ki and Eric Young.
Spud, we gotta get your thoughts. You got the case. What happens now? Spud, talk to me.
Oh my God! You know, when I first came to this company, I was nothing but I was the chief of staff. I was a gopher. I used to get coffee. I used to do anything for the Carters, and now I said when I won British Boot Camp that I want to be a champion in Impact Wrestling. And holding this, I could be the World Heavyweight Champion, or I could be fired. And you know, after everything EC3's put me through, everything EC3's done to me, and what he's put my friend Jeremy Boras through, and you know what? If I am fired, I'm going to walk straight up to Ethan Carter. I don't care if it's in the middle of the street or in catering. I'm going to punch him square in the face. This could be the biggest moment of my life, or it could be the end of my career. That's Feast or Fired, and that's a gamble I took.
Well, Spud's wheels are spinning. Does he have a future world championship match, or is Spud about to be fired? What's the fate of Robbie? What's the fate of Austin Aries? What's the fate of Magnus after what they did earlier, securing briefcases in Feast or Fire?
These questions will be answered by the end of this evening, so a very interesting way to conclude later on tonight, Friday Night Impact.
And later tonight, Christy Hemme will proceed over the Feast or Fired briefcase reveals. 3 championship opportunities are awarded. 1 man will be fired. An intense situation developing in New York City. As you take a look at the streets here of NYC, where later tonight MVP told Lashley, you want your world title? Come take it from me on the streets. Where's MVP? Where's Lashley? We'll find out later. Time for some tag team action, though, back inside the Manhattan Center.
The following contest is tag team action. Making their way to the ring, the team of Eric Young and the X Division champion, Low-Ki.
Eric Young gave up a 12-year friendship with Bobby Roode to align himself with the BDC. And look, people can say whatever they want. Eric Young's not a full member of the Beatdown Clan. Eric Young may be the worst of the entire lot, Taz.
Could be. I'll tell you who is a member of the BDC, the Beatdown Clan. That's that man right there, the X Division champion. His name is Low-Ki, one of the most dynamic competitors you'll ever see.
Yeah, but Low-Ki won the X Division championship last week from Austin Aries. Put the asterisk there because the entire BDC was responsible for that.
Introducing their opponents. First of all, making his way to the ring from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle.
Since returning to the active roster, Kurt Angle certainly has hit the ground running. He's got an attitude, Taz, that as a competitor, he can rig Friday Night Impact up factions like the BDC, the Beatdown Clan. Do you agree with Kurt Angle?
Absolutely. Kurt Angle is a cyborg around these parts of Impact Wrestling. He is a cyborg because When he gets focused on something, he's a machine, machine. He will take people out. I don't care how many you have either. I'm talking from experience, from competing against this man many times and traveling the road with this guy. I'm telling you, he's subhuman.
We'll see if Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode can coexist as a team here tonight.
Introducing his tag team partner from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 235 pounds, the It Factor, Bobby Roode.
Taz, I don't want to get all TMZ on you here, but how telling is it that Kurt Angle and Bobby Roode didn't come out together as a team?
Well, what I wanted to say about that was basically Bobby Roode more or less is saying, look, Kurt, I can't focus on this tag team match. He cares about the match. He said he didn't, but he can't focus because he wants to tear apart the guy in the green trunks, Eric Young. So I don't think it's about these two men, Angle and Bobby Roode, competing as a cohesive unit. I think it's more of Roode is so agitated and disrespected by his former buddy, Eric Young, who wants to destroy him.
The mindset of Bobby Roode in this matchup is to get his hands on Eric Young. Can Bobby Roode separate things? Let's get a victory here with Kurt Angle in a tag team match, and maybe I can get my hands on Eric Young.
I don't know, Josh. We heard Roode earlier. I don't think he can. He basically told Kurt Angle, he more or less, like I said a second ago, I don't think he can focus on the tag match itself. And I can't blame Roode. Could you imagine your best friend turned on you like that in front of the world?
And Eric Young in off the tag here from Kurt Angle. Low-Ki teaming up with Eric Young. Eric Young has certainly aligned himself with the Beatdown Clan as Bobby Roode floats over off the suplex kick out there by Low-Ki.
See the look right there. You see the look right there. He's stewing right now as Roode. He wants to get Eric Young in this match.
A lot of speculation. What exactly is Eric Young's relationship with the Beatdown Clan? Is Eric Young a full-fledged member of this longtime family, or is Eric Young just helping himself?
I think it might be more self-serving, but we see both men in the ring right here going at it. We heard MVP say last week, Eric Young is not part of the Beatdown Clan, but to your point, what is the relationship? This is what I've been waiting to see, man. I know you too. Right there, that's got to feel good for the It Factor right now to do complete an excellent backdrop on Eric Young that way.
Last week, Bobby Roode was defeated by Eric Young in a no disqualifications match. A pile driver on a steel chair. Tash, you talked about it earlier, and now we're seeing Eric Young.
Pinpointing the skull and the neck area with that DDT.
Off the DDT. Hooks the outside leg as Eric Young, and a kick out by Bobby Roode.
You know, as of recent, you drop a guy hard with a pile driver, you can come back 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks later with a DDT and shut the guy down because it goes through your spine, your neck, and everything. That DDT shut down Roode, I'm telling you. You can see it.
X Division champion Low-Ki now.
There are points in a match where a move happens that shuts a guy down. That move is calculated by the guy that usually does it. And I'm telling you, nice takedown here.
Into the cover and a kick out by Roode.
I'm telling you that Eric Young knew at some point his goal was to drive Roode on his head with something, and it was that DDT. And that's what set the tone right now for this team of Key and Young.
Talked about the mentality last week of Eric Young. He's now, he used a great word, bloodthirsty, in describing Eric Young.
He is, and he don't care. He's taking no prisoners. He don't care, Eric Young. Who's pissed off at him? His friends, his family. It's about him right now. And you know, as crazy as this sounds coming from me here, I can understand where he's coming from. Because if he felt like Roode never gave him a title opportunity, and when he was in the hospital, Roode never visited him, shot him a text message, that stuff pisses the guy off. Who knows if it's true? The hospital.
And again, it almost translates to what we're seeing here from Eric Young. It looks like business as usual in this tag team match for Eric Young.
Yeah, EY now. Eric Young going to he's going to the top to do something, but Roode shut him down right there. Good timing by Roode.
Did Bobby Roode sucker Eric Young in there, let him go up to the top rope, and then sprung into action?
So maybe you're saying he played possum, did Roode? Could be.
We'll see if Bobby Roode can turn things around here. That superplex is going to help.
Well, there's enough time to shut down Eric Young. Kurt Angle needs to get the smash. Rude knows that. Question is, can Rude make it over to that corner and tag in the 13-time world champion?
Eric Young makes the tag.
Here we go.
Low-key. Here comes Kurt Angle.
Great job by Angle. Drop it. Uh-oh.